Have you ever had a moment where everything just felt right? Where time flowed effortlessly and you felt completely in sync with everything around you? Maybe it was during a morning run or at a concert, or maybe even when you were a kid and you had a sleepover at your friend's house and it was late and you were asking each other questions or camping and looking at the sky. All of these things have in common that we've used the word transcendence to describe them. This transcendence can even be thought of as a universal human need. It's something that, when fulfilled, we experience it as the feeling of awe. And this awe feeling, it's not just something that has to be triggered by external events. In fact, awe can be something much deeper and enduring. You don't have to go to the Himalayas and meditate or even take psychedelics, but actually, awe is something that we can embody in a more intrinsic way. Moving through the world, a way of being and a way of seeing. That's what many of the great wisdom traditions have been trying to teach us all along, at least in my view. As the great philosopher Beyonce once put it, we go round in circles, looking for love, searching for something that lives inside. And isn't that so? This feeling that's within us, once we realize that, everything shifts. Yeah, people will use different words to describe it. They might even have different languages and ways of conceptualizing that. But when you feel it, you know it's universal. And when we think about that, sometimes people might worry that if you feel that sense of inner peace, that, hey, I might become complacent. I might not care about the world so much. But in reality, I think that we, in many ways, become more engaged. It would be a bit like saying that resting and sleeping would make us lazy, but instead they actually just give us more energy to engage with the world on our own terms. So similarly, that sense of self-transcendence gives us a way to show up in the parts of our lives that can be the most stressful. In our personal lives, this gives us a different way of relating to ourselves. It doesn't make us a better person or anything like that, really, but instead it gives us a different way of relating to ourselves. We are able to share our talents without self-doubt or shame. That shame becomes self-acceptance. Anger becomes protection. Sadness turns into support and connection. Fear makes way for action, and anxiety becomes trust. In a broader sense, we even have the equipment to enact a more just world too, because it's precisely when we are not acting out of stress or even resentment that we can actually see that in order to achieve justice, we need just means. That the bright future is not just a goal out there, but also a place where we engage with the present to realize in this moment. So thinking back to the question that I started the video with, if we think back to a moment where we had this sense of transcendence before, whether it was on a hike or even a protest, if you think of that and think of that moment as a memory, but instead of it being in the past, it becomes something that you feel right now in this moment. Bringing that into every moment is the feeling of awe. And it's not something that happens randomly, but it's always there waiting to be noticed. What if it wasn't just like that and something you can live from? How would that change things for you?